Welcome to the Health Hub Network Quick Tip, brought to you by healthhubnetwork.com.
Hi everyone, it's Melanie with Melanie Grow Wellness. I'm out in the garden in mid-October, which is the perfect time of year to plant garlic. Now for those of you who are just now starting to join in with this whole foodscape movement that everybody's getting into, where you're planting your own garden, whether you have a small space like an apartment and you're using containers to grow a garden, or you have the space in your yard to grow a bigger garden. Either way, I'm going to show you guys how to have some success with something very simple and easy to grow, and it's also really, really good for you. So let's get going. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to prepare your soil with some really good organic compost and mix that in your soil and make it nice and loose, because garlic really likes loose soil, not real tight and compacted soil. So, get your shovel out and dig it up and get it all mixed in together and get your soil prepared properly. Now, this year I'm going to use 3 different locations, actually 4 different locations in my garden. I'm going to use this round container here for one variety of the garlic that I'm going to be growing, and then I'm going to be planting some in this raised bed over here and in another raised bed. And then I'm going to use one of these containers here to plant a 3rd variety of garlic. This is my first time that I'm going to attempt growing garlic in a container, but I like the idea of growing it in a container because you can have more control over it when it's time to harvest the garlic, because you need to let the garlic dry out, so you'll stop watering it about a couple weeks before you actually harvest it, to let that paper that's around the garlic get nice and dry before you pull it out of the ground. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to break the bulbs apart like this, and you want to separate out the small ones from the large ones, because the small ones are really not going to produce anything, any good size bulbs. So you'll just want to take those out and go ahead and use those in your kitchen right away, and then keep the larger ones like that. What you want to do is you want to space them apart, about 6 inches apart from each other, because you don't want them to be competing for nutrients and water, and so spacing them out like this gives each of them enough space to get what they need from the soil. And here I have the Italian heirloom variety in my round bed, my round container. And then over here I have the red variety. And again, they're spaced about 6 inches apart. To show you how you want to be planting this in the soil, you want to take the clove and you want the pointy side to be facing up and the flat side to be facing down. Flat side is for the roots, the top side is for the shoots. And what you're going to do is dig a hole that's about the depth of your thumb and place this in here again with the pointy side facing up. You don't want to bury these too deep in the ground. You want them to be up pretty close to the surface. And you just put them in there and cover them up. Okay, and then the last thing that you want to do is cover up the bed with a good mulch. You can use some dry leaves in the fall if you have access to a bunch of dry leaves. It's a good thing to use as a mulch. So what's nice about this is you don't need to worry about it, you don't need to think about it. And then sometime in early spring, sometimes late winter, it just depends on when the weather starts to warm up and the soil starts to get warm, you'll start to see the shoots start to pop up out of the ground.
Head on over to healthhubnetwork.com and sign up for the monthly newsletter. to get more health and wellness tips every month from a variety of different health and wellness practitioners here in Yavapai County.